Welcome in, come meet my Bristol bro. Anything from this to that, my Bristol bro. So nice to introduce my Bristol bro. Anyone from him to her, my Bristol bro. Work with these hands, you see this hard form. Say with your chest, my pen is hardcore. Even at my desk, feel like a star-lord. And it shows how much we give it all for. Now it's time to give them all an encore. Till it's back to the chalkboard. Welcome in, come meet my Bristol bro. Anything from this to that, my Bristol bro. So nice to introduce my Bristol bro. Anyone from him to her, my Bristol bro.
Welcome in, everybody. We are in the house. We've got West Coast, the Davenger. We've got Sam. We've got myself rocking my Image Founder shirt.
Rocking my
going?
Pulp shirt.
Yeah. How we doing tonight, gentlemen?
I mean, after that song, I'm
you were
ready
hyped,
to-
weren't you? I
Yeah,
saw you
I'm
dancing
like-
back there.
I'm hype, and there was an interesting lyric in there that said something about my pen is,
Hardcore.
and I just I was like, that's I'm into the way that delivery.
Yep. That's my buddy Easy Rob that did my podcast intro, both of my podcast intros, and he hooked us up with the Bristol Bros theme music. That's him on there with the little rocking the little rhyme on there. So pretty fun stuff. He probably stopped by the stream. He usually pops in and supports. But man, I'm just happy to see your face, dude.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I see your face on your videos, but it's not talking back to me. If it were, I'd be a little nervous. It's not like actually speaking to have a two-way conversation.
Well, what's funny is I've seen Sam in person more recently than I've seen you in person.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sam, how much snow are you buried in right now? Every time we're on here, you're like buried in more snow.
It's actually all melted right now. It was 45 degrees outside.
Balmy.
Good for you. Oh, it was like 52 here today or something.
Yeah, it was unseasonably warm here this winter.
Yeah. Wow.
Sam, that'll change overnight, though, from the sounds of what you told me before. You'll just wake up and it'll be like 20 below and you'll have a foot of snow on the ground.
Yeah, more than likely. That's how it goes.
That's your fault for living, 2,000 miles from the nearest ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that.
Whatever, man.
Oh, I'm going to catch up on the chat for a second. Oh, it's getting crazy. Dave, you bring the craziness in the chat. Look at this. Please say nice things to me.
Absolutely no strippers in the chat right now.
Kim's in here. You had the first comment early this morning. Got our buddy Yevgeny Sokolov, the uber talented Yevgeny Sokolov in the chat. Got Squid Marks. Hello, hi, bonjour.
Hi, Mark.
Yevgeny says hi, James and Sam and Dave. The ultra talented Victor Medina is in the house with us. What's up, Victor?
Yeah, his thing piece the other night was really dope.
Yeah. No swoon for Dave. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm just drinking water tonight.
Oh my goodness.
Swoon.
Hashtag no swoon. I can tell it's going to be a fun one tonight.
It's going to be rowdy.
I can't keep up with the chat. I'm trying. Well, gentlemen, we have a fun game that we're going to play in a little bit, but I think we need to catch up a little bit on the Japan trip. I mean, I've seen the videos, but exactly how many suitcases full of goodies did you bring home?
I brought five suitcases home. I went there, Russian nesting doll, 2 suitcases in 2 suitcases.
Okay.
And I ended up, when I went to Osaka, having to buy a 5th.
Wow.
because by the time my first day in Osaka was finished, I was like, shit, I bought too much already.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I came home with 5 suitcases and then my backpack. And, I used the clothing to pad the books and wrap the books up. So,
Mhm.
yeah, it was roughly 225 pounds of books I brought home.
Wow. So you didn't show too much restraint then. You let yourself grab whatever you wanted.
Exactly. And on top of that, last year I shipped 7 boxes home. This year I only shipped 3
Only.
because I bought the extra suitcase.
Yeah. You learned from the first experience.
Yeah.
My
It was
goodness.
it was pretty amazing. I mean, like, yeah, I don't show restraint. I mean, this trip I knew I was going to be doing it again this year. Last
Yeah.
year, most people don't know, I booked it like maybe 4 or 5 weeks before I actually left. And this year, me and Jim, Mahfood, planned out well in advance. Like, we were planning this kind of from the summer forward.
Yeah.
So I set money aside that was just like, and I held restraint on buying any expensive art towards the end of the year. And then, yeah, once I went to Japan, it was like, whatever. I'm gonna
Yeah.
die one day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm gonna die like every other human without anything in my possession because we just die. And I might as well just have fun, and bring stuff back, obviously for sale, but also bring stuff back for me to keep until I'm ready to move on,
Yeah.
whatever.
I have one more question for you because I'm being greedy because Sam got to talk to you a little bit before I was on here. So I would really like to go to Japan, my wife and I both. And being the size that I am, I'm really nervous about the long flight. So
Yeah.
what do you think? Just save up and get that business class seating, or what's the pro tip for a
Well,
giant?
since me and you both live in the same part of the country, we're both, like, I can speak exactly what flight you should take. There's a Delta
Okay.
flight that typically leaves once a day. I think it's a 11 a.m. flight direct from Seattle to
Nice.
Haneda. I mean, I won't ever fly there outside of premium class. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not, first class is too expensive. Like, I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I was
mileage.
thinking. Yeah.
But premium select is basically the business class version of what they do now.
Okay.
And I think our tickets were like 2,200 round trip, which is
Oh,
like
that's not
really,
bad.
it's not bad at all. Cause like we had the max amount of legroom you could get outside of first class.
Okay.
It was 2x2, 2x4x2. So me and Jim just sat, we were in the 2 row, and yeah, there was, like, at no point did either of us complain about being uncomfortable, and you just get up when you need to stand up.
Squid Marks just says I need to raw dog it. Just deal with it.
I don't think that translates to taking a flight, because my idea of raw dogging a flight would be just in my underwear.
Yeah, that
You
might
know.
scare some people. All 6'5" and 300 pounds might scare some people off if I did
Yeah.
that.
No, but here's my tip for traveling, and obviously, if you can afford to do it, the flight is the most important thing to set you on your journey, because you don't want to get off on that plane after 11 hours feeling like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to feel like dog shit. You're going to try and go to sleep. You're going to wake up. Your body's not going to feel good. But if you, and I used to travel for a living, so
Mhm.
I became really good at knowing what my body needed. Because once you get off that flight and you're not cramped and your knees don't hurt and your legs don't
Yeah.
hurt, like, the staying up to beat the time change
Mhm.
is so much easier. Like, everything's easier if you feel good getting off that flight.
Yeah, I agree with like having that built in. Just like for me with my jujitsu seminars, I started doing that a long time ago because I got to be fresh coming off the flight to go teach and train right away. And if I'm sitting there, going to the East Coast and I can barely walk because my knees hurt when I get off the flight because I'm cramped, it's like it's worth it to me to pay a little extra and be able to
Exactly.
move around afterwards, you know?
Exactly. And the hotel beds, like I mean, the Koenji hotel we stayed at would fit a larger person. The hilarious thing, and I don't know if I posted this on socials on Davengers.
Yeah.
When I went to Kyoto, I spoiled myself because I was only there for 2 nights. So I got a nice hotel, which still costs less than even a 3-star hotel in this dumb
Mhm.
country. And the bed was, no joke, half the size of the room. Like
Oh,
it was a like whatever a California king, this was like bigger. This was like the state of
Nice.
California.
Sam, you should have the ability to put up any comments that you want to put up on the screen too, I think, since I gave you the co-host powers.
Yeah, Sam, put up or
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, I still gotta figure out how to
Oh,
use
you
that.
you didn't figure it out?
I will eventually.
You just hover your cursor over it and you click on show.
Amazing.
Oh my
Ah,
god.
there you go. See? Sam, I
You-
want you to say,
You figured it out.
can you do me a favor and say, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to arrive at SeaTac in Seattle. Thank you. Have a great day.
C-Tag?
SeaTac, it's the name of the
SeaTac.
airport. It's Seattle Tacoma. I mean, you sound like an air traffic controller.
He
with a
does.
headset
His
on.
headset, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Seattle SeaTac. Today it is 73 degrees.
He
Cloudy.
does.
This is
Dude,
so
it's
good.
uncanny.
This is so good.
He's got to do the pilot thing though. The
Yeah,
you know, they always do that before they talk. Oh my goodness. Yes, the topic, as somebody was asking in the chat, the topic is image founders. I had an oddly specific shirt prepared for this occasion.
I love it. I love it.
Sam, I've hogged enough Dave time. What do you got for the gentleman?
I mean, my just kind of bounce off of the Japan stuff. My immediate question is, you had gone to Tokyo Comic-Con. Did you find that the American artists that were there were their prices like any different than what they would have been here in America? Like how were they pricing stuff?
Everything there is cheaper. It has to be because people in Japan, they don't make as much money. And so they can't afford to spend American prices at a local con.
Yeah.
And for example, I mean, Frank Miller and Jim Lee were there. Frank Miller was charging $60 per signature, no matter what. No limit. $60 per signature, which is probably about a third of what he would charge here.
Yeah.
And talking to Peach's husband, Yo Mutsu, he also said it's like there's no CGC there too, so that also takes a little bit away from how much money people can charge there for signatures. And then Jim Lee technically wasn't charging anything for a signature. You like they had a table of prints set up. You buy a print, and if you get the print sign, and then you can put like 3 things in front of him, and he'll sign them.
Oh wow.
There was no like VIP package type things there for that. Peach was not charging for signatures. Yeah, Peach doesn't charge for signatures there, but they kind of limit you. Like if you're buying a couple of things and you have a couple of things to get signed, they don't care.
That's awesome. So what I'm hearing is I will save money on that end so I can go for the premium seating on the plane.
That's right. And, it's just be careful because you're like me, you're an art collector and you know how that gets out of hand.
I'm an art collector and I'm an art supply collector. And I have heard stories and I saw what Jim brought back from that art store. And I know
that art store is like nothing. Last year, when I was there for like a week and a half, I like pulled up my credit card statement of the main card I was using.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I didn't spend that much money.
Yeah, this is what I've heard about that art store. So I know I would come back with a briefcase full of pencils and everything else.
Oh yeah, like an entire file of Zipitones.
Easily,
yeah. Sam's like, yeah, I'd be buying all that.
Oh, Sam would have he's buying it at a premium right now. He would definitely be stocking up.
Sam's gonna go to Japan and like he's gonna come back covered in Zipatone because like his bags are overflowing, so he's just sticking it on himself so he can get more.
There you go, Sam. That's a new character for one of your anthologies.
The
Zipatone
Zip.
Man.
I'm not even joking. I probably have $3,000 worth of Zipatone upstairs in my drawer.
That
See?
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Half
surprise me.
half man, half Zipatone. He's more Zipatone now than man.
But honestly, like I mean Tokyo Comic Con, like I think maybe Starlin charged a little more than I thought he would, but I don't care. Like it's still Jim Starlin. I'm gonna get a couple things signed. But honestly, like it's not a great Comic Con for comics, obviously. Like no big cons are, but the Artist Alley was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and
It
that's
really
what I'm
was.
going to cons for is a lot of times is more artist focused, original art, all of that type of stuff. Like, you know, I think if you're going long distance like that, I definitely wouldn't want to be trying to find and hunt comics so much. I think I would be more focused on the art side of things.
Yeah, but you step one foot into Monterey and you're just gonna lose your mind.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, I wasn't gonna buy comics, but now I'm just seeing all this stuff that either I'm curious about or that I know, you know.
Yeah, and then I'm buying another suitcase or two, just like you.
Exactly.
When I've heard the drawing books, like the how to draw books and the reference books are really crazy. Like you could get a reference on pretty much anything. Like,
yeah,
you know, so I know I would be buying a lot of that type of stuff too.
yeah, there is. I mean, just in Sakaido, there was enough reference books, but you find them kind of everywhere. I mean, books and art and anything that we really appreciate as nerds and creators. There's so much of it in Japan, in just Tokyo alone.
Zippy the Tone Age monstrosity. Yes,
He's
Big D.
It's
Yes.
the updated version of Zippy the Clown.
Yes. And Squid says, I wish it was the same for us Canadians as far as the prices being cheaper at the.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, right now, who knows how long it's going to keep lasting, but right now our dollar goes far in those two countries, specifically Canada and in Japan.
Yeah.
So
Sam, you're
Yes.
quiet. You're quiet, buddy.
I'm just sitting here listening, brother.
Give me more of that sexy air traffic control pilot voice.
Well, if you want, I can show some stuff off.
I would
Got some
like
stuff
you to,
recently.
depending on what it is.
he's
I
gonna
mean-
pick up a raccoon. He's
If
gonna be
he
like,
starts-
this is my new raccoon.
If he starts lifting his shirt up, I'm out of here.
I'm gonna try to take this blur off here. Let's see.
Are you gonna let us see the secret layer?
Woohoo!
Somewhat,
not
yeah.
that
It's just
part.
my basement.
Yeah,
That looks like a basement.
it is.
Yeah.
Down by
Yeah.
those two
Little columns.
columns.
The
yeah.
structural support.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week I should have my studio done because we finished painting it yesterday, and I started dragging all of my furniture over from my other place into there. So hopefully next week I'll be up there.
I got some teaser
So-
pics, and that it's shaping up really nice. It's gonna be an awesome studio, man. You're gonna be so happy being in a space like that.
Yeah, double the size of the place that I'm in now, and of course I had to paint my walls pink.
I saw
Yes,
that.
Of course you
Yeah.
did. Yeah, of
Bret
course.
Hart Pink, baby.
That's
What are
right.
you gonna show off, dude?
All right, so pick this up from Dave from his Japan trip.
It's me.
Nice.
So let's do a pop quiz for you here and test your alternative comics knowledge.
I have near zero alternative comics knowledge.
You don't know who this is?
I do not.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. So Dan Klaus.
I like it when you enlighten me, though. So that's half the
Yeah.
fun of being on here on Tuesdays.
So I mean, Dan Klaus, probably most popular. Did 8 Ball. Highly recommend to read 8 Ball if you've never read it. I would probably say that Pussy is probably my favorite chunk out of 8 Ball, because 8 Ball is kind of like a weird amalgamation of just like a bunch of different kind of like short
Mhm.
stories kind of tossed
Okay.
together into like a book.
James, just to give you a little more mainstream insight into Daniel
Mhm.
Clowes, Ghost World, the movie, is based off
Okay.
his book.
Gotcha.
Art School
Okay.
Confidential. And if I would recommend, if you want to read, if you like, you're a Washingtonian. If you like
Mhm.
David Lynch, and you enjoy that kind of atmospheric type
Okay.
weirdness, like a velvet glove cast in iron by Dan Clowes. That's a fantastic weird what the
Cool.
fuck type
So I have
book.
some tips of what to delve into. Nice.
Samuel.
Sam, what else do you have?
Just get me spotlighted here.
I'm giving you the spotlight. There you go.
then-
I wish I had some ethereal music to play when we give him the spotlight.
Will show up good. So this is an
Oh,
Akira
nice.
blind box.
Yep.
If I can get that to focus.
There we go.
If you put it, if you like put your hand by your face and put it over your face, it'll show up. No,
Yeah,
not
cover
like
your
that.
face.
Cover your face. Exactly.
It was focused. It's good. I got it.
So this book here I picked up from Japan Book Hunter. Did not get it from Dave.
Is this the one you sent me some pics from the other
It
day?
is. Yeah.
He goes, this is the weirdest shit you'll ever see. He's like, look at this.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures of this, Dave, because this
Yeah.
is definitely not safe for YouTube.
What
'cause
is
this
it?
It's called Monster Men. It's by Takashi Nemoto is his name.
There is nearly no page he can show that will not
I'm
be
sure. I mean, if
getting
you
us flagged on YouTube.
yeah, coming from Sean, it's gonna be
Yeah.
weird and it's gonna be wild.
All right, and then we got
Yeah.
Pro Movie Pamphlet.
Oh, there
Dave,
you go.
Good old Brandon Lee action.
Yes.
And then this guy, this was my commission from Sean.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
So I got this done for him when I backed the Kickstarter.
Mhm.
Originally, I had asked him to do Savage Street Vigilante, and he told me no. And he's like, basically, if you want Savage Street Vigilante, pay Jim to have you do it, or to have him do it, I should say. And then he's like, I'll do a Flavor Flav for you because that was my second option. And I got my commission, and he did Savage Street Vigilante for me anyways. And he's basically like, I'm the indie creator guy. Like, I got to rep my boys. So I ended up doing it for you anyways. So I was happy with it. But yeah, it's in fluorescent paint. So it really pops off the page. And, unfortunately, you can't really tell that on the stream. Got another piece of art here. So then I also bought this from Sean. This is a Cheech Wizard. So this is Cheech Wizard is like a thing from Von Baudet. It's one of his characters. I know that that's something that you're not really in your wheelhouse, James, but
That's his tail, right? I'm looking at his tail.
yeah,
Sure.
it's him. Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
So
For purposes of this stream.
yeah, Cheech Wizard. Von Baudet is kind of like a 70s psychedelic sort of guy. He has a lot of influence with like graffiti artists. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you see a lot of graffiti stuff and then you look at Von Baudet, you can kind of see where all that kind of stuff kind of came from.
I looked into him a little bit after I had you on. I think the first time you had mentioned him, the first time I had you on the pod. So I did see some of his stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
And this was a print that I got from my buddy Elliot. He's a cartoonist from England, and he does a comic called Hellbound. It's just outlaw goodness.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a pretty good cartoonist.
Our buddy Brandon Paul's in here. He says, Dave.
Speak of the devil.
Oh,
Here
look
it
at the
is.
timing, Brandon. He's got Chuck Maxwell.
That book is so good, Chuck.
Dude, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon was just on the pod, and his episode will be dropping here real soon. That's such a
sweet.
great book, man.
Yeah, it
Amazing
really
book.
was. I had a fun time reading it. I told him that, I find it often there are people that are great artists or really good artists or really good storytellers, but Brandon's got both.
He does.
He knows how to get both down where the book you don't want it to end. And I told him I didn't want it to end.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I go, I loved it. My only criticism is that you left us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
He sent it to me and I read it, and then I'm like, dude, you had to do that. I said, tell me more coming out. He says, don't worry, it's gonna be continuing. But yeah, like a fully formed thing too. Just like I'm like, so what else have you done? And he's like, oh, I just kind of did that because I wanted to. And I'm like, dude, you're too talented.
I talk to Brandon pretty regularly, and I've been bitching to him about getting more Chuck, and I can say confidently that there's more in the works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yes,
he did a cover for White Line.
Yep.
he did. Yeah, I I saw his portfolio review that Ink Pulp did, so I don't know if you ever looked at that stuff, Dave. But
Oh, I didn't see it. No, I don't always watch the portfolio reviews.
yes, this is probably one of the very first ones they did. So this is a
That
while
was the
ago.
first one.
Yeah. So it may have been the very first ones they did. And I saw it and I was like, this dude can draw his ass off. Like very
Yeah.
Jeff Darrow-y is kind of like the way I'd describe his art. And I'm like, all right, like I gotta keep him kind of in the back of my brain. And when the time came, I reached out to him and tapped him.
Yeah. Brandon's awesome. He's a good dude too. So it was a pleasure talking to him. He's leaving us wanting more. Like if you're still watching, Brandon, like come on, man. Like put it out. Give us more Chuck. We need more Chuck. So Sam contrived a game for us to play. Shall we look at what this game is so we can do you want to play the game now, Sam? Hit it off. Well, we got a lot of viewers on here.
Is it like Saw? Is one of us going to end up with like a severed foot? And
it's like Squid Game. It's like Squid Games. Brandon says, "Thanks for the love, fellas. Really appreciate it. I'm chugging away on Chuck every day." I want a shirt that says that.
That's a bumper sticker. That's a feature sticker or something like that.
Chugging away on Chuck. So the game, just so the viewers can see it, I put it on a Google slide here. This is going to be the game that Sam came up with. Image Founders Throwdown. Criteria, style, creations, turnout, contributions, and personality. I already know who's.
I mean, we already know
candidates on that.
We already know who wins this, but yeah, okay.
Each will be rated on a 1 to 10. 100-point scale in each category, adding up the totals and listing them based on everyone's average. Who will be the winner? Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, Ryan's in the house. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, what's up, Ryan? The Colossus Collector. Awesome. So I'll leave it up on here. Do we want to I think I'm going to put mine in my phone notes. Is probably going to be the easiest way I can do it to add it up, or are we just gonna keep track of it, Sam?
I was gonna keep just track of it on a calculator, and then I don't know if that document that you have in front of you, if it's a live document or not. You can just fill it in.
No, it is not.
Okay.
I could do that.
I mean, if you want, you honestly can just share your screen with the Google Doc that I made.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I can do it. I can do all the things. You guys entertain yourselves for a moment, and I'll work on getting that prepared. Okay,
Sam, what do you want to know? Give me a question. Throw me something.
All right. So I'll ask you this because I was talking to Stand Up Dan earlier just about bands in general. Do you like the Wonder Years? You ever listen to them?
I never really got into them. I've listened to them a couple times. I mean, recently they've done some very noble stuff on stage. They said a lot of interesting stuff on stage this summer that made me at least respect the shit out of them. And I have a friend that loves them, and she's always quoting song lyrics. Came out swinging. And I listened to one of their albums this past year when I started to see the videos of them speaking out, and I was like, yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're one of my favorite pop punk bands because I think that with pop punk they go way too far into the pop side of things and they kind of leave that punk side of away. Like I used to be a fan of like All Time Low, and then eventually and the same thing with like Fall Out Boy. It's like they're not even a punk band anymore remotely.
No, pop band. They're a pop band. Yeah. I never liked Fall Out Boy, but I was a little bit older when they came out. I was already into a couple of bands that were better than them, but that's I just don't, and I also don't like Pete Wentz. It kind of makes me want to smack that guy in the face.
Like all those dudes used to play in like hardcore bands. I think the drummer still plays. I can't remember what the name of her band is, but like if you have vegan hardcore, like straight edge style stuff, and like Pete Wentz back in the day, like when they used to play in clubs, like he used to have super long dreads. And
well, everybody had dreads at the beginning of the 2000s. They all listened to Incubus and they were all like, oh yeah. And then Brandon cut his hair off and they're like, what do we do now?
All right. I think I got this pretty set up. So let me do the screen share here.
Spoiler alert, guys. I'm giving 100 to Todd on everything.
Might have a feeling you and I might just
Yeah.
we kind of know where our loyalties lie. All right, let's see here.
Can I ask you guys both a question?
Yeah, please.
What was the comic book that brought you the most joy reading last year? Not the best, but just the thing that you really enjoyed.
Absolute
The most.
Batman. For me.
I had a feeling you were going to
Sam
say
still hasn't read it.
I read the
Sam,
first issue. That's it.
Sam, I know Sam, and I know what Sam rebels against the mainstream.
He's
very
a
much.
nonconformist. Yeah,
Yes.
he's the guy he's the guy that goes, I've never seen a single Star Wars movie.
Right.
It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah. Well, Sam, take it from somebody that you also trust in taste. The book is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, it's not just a Batman book.
No,
It's
at
not
all.
just a Batman book.
Yeah, like I said, I read the very first issue and that was it. So at least I tried.
Sam.
But to answer your question, probably Switchblade Shorties, to be honest.
Yeah, Switchblade was really great.
Nice.
So, I mean, it's kind of a bittersweet sort of thing, and it did come out last year. But yeah, I mean, I loved it.
Victor says, I just started reading Absolute Batman. I have to sound out the big words, but I'm enjoying it. Yeah. All right. So here is our Google Doc with this. So I can go in here. So each of us are giving our ratings, right?
Yeah, so I was thinking, again, like 100-point scale. So that's, 1.1, 1.2, so on and so forth, to help kind of make it a little more just. Because I think if you're rating them just from a 1 to 10, there's going to be a little bit more wiggle room. Once we kind of get into it, I guess I'll explain a little bit as to why I think there's a little bit more wiggle room. Because I already knew going into this, you guys were going to jump on Todd's nuts.
Well, of course. We're both big Todd fans.
So
when I looked at the categories, I'm like, oh, geez, those are all about Todd.
Yeah, so like with the categories, so I guess let's run down that a little bit. So with style, that's what I purely mean, is just like you look at their art, it's like stylistically, do you like it or not? That's really all it is. It's very objective.
Okay.
Creations, that's purely just what they have done in terms of their own creator-owned stuff. So obviously Todd, Spawn, Youngblood, Savage Dragon, whatever.
Right. Cyberforce, etc.
Exactly. And
Turnout's going to be like their fan base, basically.
I was honestly kind of thinking like their work production. So like how much they've done throughout their career. Exactly. So it's like, obviously Todd has done a lot of writing, but in drawing hasn't done a lot over the last couple years. Well, like last 20 years or whatever, right? So, and then contributions, I was kind of thinking like, what have they done for the overall comics community or just over pop culture in general? Okay. And then obviously personality is kind of self-explanatory. Do you like their personality? Do you not like them? Are they abrasive? Are they not?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Pretty basics.
Okay.
So and I guess this is based off of just Image going forward.
I was thinking their entire career. So
that's
like
what Ryan just asked. Is this based off their whole career?
Well, that changes things.
Yeah, it's from like day one to now where it stands. Because I mean, all those dudes were pretty much all still at Image except for one of them.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let Dave as our guest. I mean,
you want me to go? So am I giving it between the numbers of 1 and 100 of like
1 and 10? He said.
Yeah, so like 1.1, 1.2. Get it? 9.5. We're doing halves.
Because I thought you said 100 originally. Okay.
Yeah, that is a 100-point scale. It's 100 numbers.
This
is some type of weird voodoo mathematician shit.
Have you heard of new math, Dave? I think this is new math. I don't
understand what's happening. Is that like new metal? Do I have to go like every time I give an answer? I have to go.
Let's just do between 1 and 10.
Yeah, let's just go from 1 through 10. Sam, please.
Dave and I are old, bro. Okay, you can't be hitting us with this newfangled 100-point system BS that we don't understand. Okay,
we'll go on the CGC scale.
I'm just a
Yeah, like
just a
Ryan said.
simple caveman. You remember that Saturday Night Live thing?
Oh
Your
yeah.
Honor, I'm just a simple caveman. Your
Uh,
newfangled technology scares and frightens me.
oh man. Okay. I'm
It's all
just
right,
gonna
Dave.
go. I'm gonna go through 1 through 10. I'm not doing point fives, point twos, point tens.
All right,
Sam, I love you, but
starting with Valentino.
all right. Yes. Starting with Valentino. Style. I'll just give him a a 3 because like honestly like Shadowhawk is the only comic I ever really read of his. Like I've looked at his Guardians,
Yeah.
Normal Man, stuff like that. He's not a style guy. He's not a style guy. Creations, I'll give it a 4 just because Shadowhawk existed.
Okay.
And he looked cool.
Yeah, he
But
did.
honestly, he just broke people's backs and he had AIDS. Like, what superpower is that? I'm sorry, what superpower is that? What
Yeah.
do you do? Well, I have AIDS and I break people's backs.
Power to persevere.
Yeah, like, oh, you stole a purse? Well, fuck, I'm breaking your back and you're paralyzed for the rest of your life. Oh, you jaywalked? Well, paralyzation for you too, buddy. And then turnout, I mean, I'll give him like a 7
Yeah.
because he is integral to not just the alternative, comic scene, but he was such a driving force in getting Image, going, and also like continuing as publisher through like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yep.
So
Contributions.
sorry, Victor. Sorry. It's a
We never went
35-year-old
Shadowhawk
spoiler.
spoilers. That's the
Uh,
Cliff Notes version of Shadowhawk, but it's pretty much the whole thing.
yeah, and contributions, I'll also give him like a 7 on that because he was doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes for years, even after, like, I don't even know how many issues Shadowhawk ran, maybe 10.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
so.
Yeah. And then personality, I kind of like his personality. He's off of Facebook now because like a sane person these days, you probably shouldn't be on
Yeah.
Facebook. But I'll give him like a 7 on personality.
So we got a 7 on personality. All right. Wills.
Wills. Okay, style. Wilson's style is pretty awesome. I'm gonna put him at a 7.
All right.
Because like, I mean, like his style was a mix between Jim and Liefeld. At least it felt like.
Yeah.
Creations 3.
All right.
I mean, he did the look.
Not
of
a big
Bishop.
fan of Wetworks.
I mean, is anybody? They looked cool.
They looked
and then,
coolish, yeah.
I feel bad because his family problems that like all the personal way, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think I read like 2 issues of Wetworks and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. They look cool. That's about it.
Yeah.
Turnout. I mean, it's hard to really.
I vaguely remember lots of delays.
Yeah, because like I said, he had family illness and all that. But his turnout outside of that, I mean, I'll put him at a 6. I'll be fair.
Okay.
I'll be fair.
Being generous. There we go.
His contributions 4. Because like, I don't know. Yeah. And then personality, I'll give him an 8 because the dude is the nicest guy.
He's super
very
nice.
friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Jim Lee.
Jim Lee style, 10.
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Lee is the reason. You could put Jim Lee as probably, as much as Todd, the two of them are the most important people to have touched comics in the last 35 years, especially if you're looking at everybody that came after them. Like, people today are still getting into comics because of Jim Lee.
True.
And his style. Creations, I mean, honestly, if we're just talking about characters that he created, I mean, what, 5? Like, who gives a fuck about the Wildcats except for Spartan?
Yeah.
He didn't create any X-Men, right? He didn't create anybody. Like, he's not a creator of any characters. And in the Batman and the DC stuff, like, he created Hush, but Jeff Loeb really, like, So as a creation, I find it, I struggle to think that he's done anything that like, oh, that character exists because of Jim Lee.
Yeah, true.
You know, turnout, I mean, 10. You know,
Boom.
there's nothing you can say that would refute that. Contributions to comics, 11. Is it possible to give him an 11? Like, you know, it's like our generation, Sam, your generation, like all of us. There is some reason we like comics or something in the comics world because of Jim Lee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's undeniable. Like you can't refute that. And personality, you know, I'll give him an 8 because he's not like the other ones that I'm going to give a 10 to, but he's still got a good personality.
Yeah,
He did
a little more reserved.
Sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, speaking to him in person, he's got a nice personality. I mean, yeah, he co-created Gambit and Omega. Well, okay, Ryan, take your X-Men fandom out of Omega Red and explain to me if Omega Red really makes a fucking difference in comics.
Yeah, right.
Gambit, I want. Yeah, I mean, Omega Red's a wasted
Take that, Ryan.
opportunity because Omega Red looks dope and they didn't do anything interesting with him.
He's going to go cry on his stack of
no, he won't.
The first appearance of Omega Red comics he's got in his basement.
That X-Men.
I mean, I love Gambit, and I forgot that he did co-create Gambit because even though he wasn't on that issue, Claremont came to him with that, and yeah.
He says fair. He says fair.
Yeah. Well,
Brandon wants a pouches column. You know, Rob would be winning that.
Oh yeah, there is no other.
No other
person that. Yeah. Yeah.
He co-created Jubilee as well, but I mean that's just really a play on Curry Kelly, right?
No, that was Silvestri was the artist on Jubilee.
Oh, really? I thought that was Jim Lee that had created that.
No, I mean because he wasn't in the X office yet. That was still during Silvestri's run.
Mm. Yep.
Okay, Larson. Style. I'm gonna give him a 9 because his style only gets deducted 1 point because of Jack Kirby's existence.
True.
Creations, I mean, he's getting a 10 because Savage Dragon is awesome and
still going.
Yeah. Yeah. Turnout. Remind me what a turnout is again.
Just
productivity.
Productivity. 10.
Yeah.
You know, we're
productivity over the span of his career.
Yeah. Contributions, I'll give him also a 10 because not only is Savage Dragon a huge thing, you know, he took over publishing Image after Valentino and like he ushers in the Kirkman era and ushers in I'm not 100% sure if he was publishing when Saga came out, but he's very important to
the infamous car ride to the airport with Kirkman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Personality. I'll give him a 7. I like his personality, but I understand that personality.
I like it too. He can be a little abrasive to some people though.
It's not meant for everybody to digest.
Yeah. All right. So. Moving on to Mr. Mark Silvestri.
Style 10.
Style at 10 for sure.
Yeah. Because there's nobody like him. I mean, and you think about, you know, the two main guys we think about that came from Top Cow, you know, that are products of the Silvestri style are Finch and Turner.
Yeah.
And like we don't have Silvestri style, we don't get those guys.
Yep.
Creations, I mean, I give him a 6 just based off the X-Men stuff. Because like Cyber,
I was gonna say,
I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize. Let's move that to an 8. I always forget about Witchblade and Darkness.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good consideration. Yeah.
And Witchblade pierced the mainstream more than most people realize. I mean, you know, Yancey Butler playing her on TV is a huge thing, and the Darkness video games is a huge thing too. So
productivity over his span of his career. Yeah, that's hard because
it's 7.
Yeah.
you know, because it goes like this. It goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes back up, and then it goes down. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, for some of us that really loved his art, we missed a lot of years where we should have had regular art from him
For
on a
sure.
regular, you know, basis.
Contributions.
I give him a 7, just because like like that thing I just said was like up and down, up and down, up and down. Top Cow is great, but it robbed us of a lot of great art that we would have gotten from him.
Personality.
I give him a 9. I mean, after talking to him for 2 hours on Direct Edition, you know, I really had a lot of fun with him, and he's got a great personality.
Yeah, he was very likable on all the podcasts I saw him on when he was talking about darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he gets the 9 on that one. So
Hey, chat, how am I doing?
you're doing amazing, dude.
Killing it.
Okay, until this, then they're gonna gripe a little bit. This one, Mr. McFarlane.
I mean, he's getting, well, okay, he's definitely getting a 10 for style because he's Todd, and like many of us, and like people, I mean, it's attested on both sides, the hate and the love, right? People
Yep.
hated it. The old heads hated it when he came into Spider-Man because it wasn't the, you know, the John Romita Marvel style Spider-Man type thing. And for us, we were like, holy shit, Spider-Man's cool.
Yeah.
So he gets that. Creations, I mean, Spawn, 10. Even though he's not drawing it, even though it's not the greatest story, like Spawn is still, you know, kids these days, right? They grew up and Deadpool was coming into his own, or Harley Quinn was coming into her own, you know, stuff like that. Spawn was our new huge thing that we
Yep.
fell in love with as kids. Productivity, I mean,
Are we counting just comics?
if we're just counting comics, it may be a different number than if we're just counting productivity as
No,
a
I think
criteria,
creator.
Sam?
Yeah, I think you got to look at the bigger picture, like toys, movies, all that stuff counts.
27,000 then, because he not only changed the comic industry, but he changed the toy industry.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, 10. Contributions, I mean, another 10, like the same thing, right? Like, you remember what, I mean, Sam, how old are you? I forget.
I'm going to be 33 in a couple months.
Okay, so when me and James were young, toys were just like this plastic molded piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? Because after He-Man and Turtles, like toys, just especially sports toys, were just these plastic molding pieces of shit. He comes along, and everything that we have today is a byproduct of him taking that chance and it working. And then music videos, he changed a lot of how people looked at music videos with animated. So
I'm jumping ahead of you, but I already put a 10 in personality.
Yeah. Hey, bud.
Hey,
yeah,
bud.
bud. Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. You should actually change that 10 to a yeah, bud.
Yeah. All right. So he's got a perfect score. Now probably the most polarizing figure in the group.
Yeah. Well, I'm Brandon. Yes. I mean, I worked at EB in 97, 98, 97 to 98. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember. All right. So Rob Liefeld, who I am a fan of, always have been, I'm going to give his style an 8. And here's why. I'm not even going to bring up any of these stupid kind of things that people say about, you know, what he can and can't draw. The energy that he drew with, and especially in those first like 5 to 6 years of his career, it felt fresher than Todd. Like Todd was a better artist, but Rob's energy that he drew with was amazing. I mean, he took a book that nobody cared about and turned it around completely in 8 issues, or 9 issues. And that doesn't happen because it doesn't happen by chance. It happens because
Mm-hmm.
the person's doing the thing. And
Yeah.
then X-Force goes on to sell X amount of million copies, and there's a reason for it.
Yep.
I agree.
Creations, 10, because whatever anybody wants to say, the man created Deadpool, and that's a 10.
Yep.
So productivity, you know, it's interesting. Like, he never really stopped putting books out,
That's the
but
thing. Yeah.
they
But
weren't
the
good.
quality may have suffered for it, right? But he never stopped. So it's
He never
like
stopped. So I'll give him an 8 on productivity.
contributions.
I mean, he is the one. He's the one that Image was his idea. 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like even if we took Deadpool, we took everything else out of it. The fact that Image was his idea, that he pushed for it and got those guys to say yes, and then once they got Todd, I mean, that's a 10.
And saw the Andre Agassi ad that gave him the idea for the
That's right.
Image
That's
is
right.
everything. Personality.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because I'm vocal
Depends
about
on if you it depends on if you've slighted him.
right? It depends on the day too, because like there are
Yeah.
days where I really enjoy his enthusiasm for
Yeah, me too.
the medium and for drawing and for all of it. And then he has to go into, you know, troll mode, and I hate that. I really don't like
Yeah.
he's a better person than that. So I'll just 6. How about a 6?
All right. So Dave Areno has completed his questionnaire here. So we're gonna go through and let me do this real quick. Just
16 plus 20, 36, 42.
8, 10, 8. I know you're already doing the math for me, but I double check everything on a calculator
okay.
these days, you know.
That's okay. I don't trust me
42.
either.
So that gives us oh geez, the breaking stuff over here. 42.
This is one of those days when chicks want to wake up. Oh, sorry.
One of my favorite songs as a young man.
Mm-hmm.
Played it in my minivan with the stereo system that was more expensive than the van. That's what we did in those days, right?
That is 100%
all right. I'm adding
true.
up, getting your totals. So we got 42, 50, 41, 46, 43, 28, and 28. So you get a 278 because you said we're going to average these, right?
Correct. Yeah, I figured we'd get all three of our averages and then just.
All right.
Yep.
Sam, you're going to go next.
All right, let's send it, baby. We'll go a little quicker here.
All right, do it.
I think that Dave kind of covered most of the bases.
He did. Yeah, he definitely gave the context to each of the categories and individuals.
This is what you sign up for when you have me on your show. I do talk professionally.
Ever the professional, as we knew he would be. All right, Sam.
All right, so for Valentino, I think I kind of have to agree with putting him a little bit lower on the scale. I don't foresee, when I think of Jim Valentino, I don't really think of his comics, to be honest with you. So I think I'm going to give him a 3 as well.
Okay.
And then for creations, I mean, you do have Normal Man and a couple other things that are out there. And I think that we probably have to give him a 4.
Okay.
Not a whole lot, just some. Turnout, I think that he did do quite a bit of work, and you also have to kind of put into perspective that he is older than the rest of the Image guys. So he was, making comics on the independent scene, 10, 15 years prior to everybody else even making comics to begin with.
Yeah, true.
So I'm going to give him, I think, an 8 on Turnout.
Okay.
And then contributions, he was a publisher at Image for a long while. He was, responsible for things like Powers, for example, which was very popular at the time. So with that being said, I think that I will give him an 8.
Okay.
And then our last one here, personality. I also think he's a cool dude. If you watch interviews with him, like he did the shoot interview with Kayfabe, he has a good personality. And I think that I also jive with kind of his instinctual art things. Obviously, he came from that underground community. So I do definitely jive with that. I think I'll give him an 8.
All right. Lots of 8s for Mr. Valentino there.
Crazy.
Yeah,
eights.
I think that he was going to be the kind of the dark horse of the group, just
Okay.
judging off of all the
That's-
background stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
That's a different publisher.
Don't even get me started on Mike Richardson. I got some stories about him.
Okay, so Mr. Portaccio.
Yes. Style. I think Dave hit the nail right on the head with the 7. I don't think that he's any less than that. I don't think he's any more than that. Definitely better than average, but not as good as the other guys.
Okay.
And then we have creations. Yeah, that I'm giving him a 2. I'm gonna go less than
Ooh.
Dave on that one.
All right.
I'm just being honest.
No, that's
No, that's the whole
fine.
point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then we got turnout. I think that 6 is also fair for turnout. They're definitely very average.
Okay.
All right. And then we have contributions. I think, Dave, you hit the nail right on the head with that as well. Give him a 4. Nothing to really write home about. Personality. Yeah, he's a hell of a dude. And every time that I see him in your videos, Dave, I always think he's just like, the best way I can describe him is just kind of like the grandpa that you wish you always had. You know what I mean? Just very soft spoken.
Yeah.
So definitely probably going to give him. I'll give him a 9. Give him give him a
Nice.
bump up.
There we
Make up
go.
for that last point that we docked off him.
I mean, once he appears on Direct Edition, we'll finally find out how his person.
Yeah, you've been working on that one for a while, buddy. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Can't wait for that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Mr. Jim Lee.
All right, so I think I'm going to ruffle some feathers on this one.
Oh, yeah, I knew you were a fan.
All us old guys.
So
My youth.
I like Jim Lee, and I understand his influence, and that's undeniable. Like you can't, really speak on his influence on comics. It's undeniable. However, I think that his influence on comics was so great that it was kind of a detriment to everybody else because now you have an industry full of Jim Lee clones, unfortunately. And I don't blame that on Jim Lee. I just blame on everybody else that kind of looked at his stuff because of his influence. I don't care for his style because I think it's a little too mainstream. When I had first seen it, in Punisher, X-Men, for example, I like that stuff. But once he starts getting into the DC Batman-y kind of stuff, it kind of lost me a little bit because it did become so refined in that mainstream sort of way. It's definitely his art is safe, is what I'll say. I'll give him a 9.
Oh, I thought you were going to give him a way worse rating after that diatribe.
So I think that you have to kind of put into perspective like all of the, again, just his overall influence of the industry. It's both a blessing and a curse.
True. Can be, yeah. Creations.
All right.
You were blown away by all his creations, weren't you?
All right. So I mean, let's just run down the Omega Red first of all. I mean, Dave, you again hit the nail right on the head. Like who gives a shit about Omega Red?
He looks awesome, but that's about it.
That's literally what he has.
Style over substance.
And I'm sure that the Rule 34 stuff that's been made of Omega Red that's floating around out there, I'm sure is tasty with the hentai tentacles going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, what else did he really do besides that? That it's like the stuff that he did at Image, I really don't care about. I'm just being honest with you. Man, I think I had to give him like a 3.
All right. Productivity.
10. Let's just be honest. The dude's a workhorse and just doesn't stop. And especially if you ever like watch his live streams that he does and just like the speed that dude draws at, it's actually insane.
It is.
I mean, he is a legend for a reason, and the guy is still, like you said, he can still draw. During COVID, those 60 sketches or 60 pieces he did to help the comic shops were like
Yeah.
the best art he's ever done.
Yep. And I love when he inks and finishes his own work. Like that
And
style of
all
Jim Lee, I
Yeah.
enjoy that even more than his amalgamation that he becomes with Williams
all
polishing his
respect,
stuff.
yeah, all respect to Scott Williams and Alex Sinclair. Stay the fuck off Jim Lee's work.
Contributions, Sam.
Let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna give him a 9. Again, you have to be realistic with everything that he's done. I think that he saved DC kind of from shitting the bed a little bit, but obviously, they kind of waned a little bit, but then now obviously they're back again. But they did pull themselves out of a hole because of his contributions, and then I would say Jeff Johns to some extent too helped out a lot with DC. So yeah, I'll give him a 9 there.
All right. So we got 9, 3, 10, 9, and what do you give him on personality?
He's kind of a wet blanket. I don't know how else to really describe his personality. He's like, he doesn't want to offend anybody. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you want to play it safe. You want to be political, especially being in the position that he's in, being an executive and everything like that. But
okay.
I mean, I also got to take into account his upbringing,
Sure. Yes.
So, but that doesn't mean that you can't rate his personality however you want.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Jim.
Oh no. He was very
geez.
very nice, when I spoke to him in Japan, because I talked to him for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Mr. Eric Larson, I have a feeling he's going to get pretty high numbers from Sam.
Oh,
let's see.
Just put 10s across the board.
You
No.
see? Knew it.
Yes, style. I'm giving him a 10. I mean, out of all the Image dudes, he's probably my favorite in terms of his cartooning. I think that's because Savage Dragon, especially nowadays, like if you read Savage Dragon, it's like he just doesn't give a shit anymore. He just does whatever he wants.
Yes. We've talked about the infamous shooting that poor girl across the room page.
Just love Eric.
He does whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's earned it too.
Sure has.
Yep. Creations.
10. Let's be honest, Savage Dragon rules.
Oh yeah.
It's probably. I think that Savage Dragon is probably the strongest Image character. I mean, obviously Spawn is way more popular, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like Spawn. It's like the writing. Obviously, it's whatever.
Yeah.
Savage Dragon is actually a good book, like pretty much all the way through. Like you can jump on it at any moment, and it's like you can pick up and go.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that at all.
Productivity.
I'm gonna say let's give him a 10. Again, somebody who just doesn't stop. I wish that he would release Savage Dragon issues more often than every like 4 or 5 months when they do come out. But I get it, man. He's busy, doing whatever the hell he does at Image. So
well, no, it's not that. He was doing somewhat monthly, but then Marvel got him on that Spider-Man Noir mini, so he couldn't do both. And the mini's great, but he's Savage Dragon 288 or 289, whatever. The next one is coming out next month or March. I think it's on solicits now.
Contributions.
I'll give him a 7. Obviously, he was publisher for a little while at Image, but besides that, though, it's like really hasn't done much in terms of like the industry as a whole. Didn't do anything really with toys. Just kind of stayed in his own box of comics.
And last but not least, personality.
Like, how do you even describe his personality besides just dry, just extremely dry? I'll give him an 8. I think that's fair. I like his personality, but yes, he's very dry. I wouldn't say that he's abrasive in like the way that Rob Liefeld is, but he definitely is an acquired taste where just very monotone, very dry. But like if you get what he's saying and kind of jive with his monotone his monotoneness, I don't know how else to really describe it. He's funny, So
Yeah, he can be funny for sure. What about Silvestri on style?
10.
All right.
That's not even going to be a debate. I don't even need to discuss that. We all can agree on that, I think.
I agree. Yeah.
Man, creations. Cyber Force is dog shit. Like
Ripclaw's cool.
Ripclaw's cool. Yeah.
I don't know what else to really even say about that. Like if I'm gonna give him a 6 in creations.
All right. Productivity.
Yeah, I think that's 7. Probably the same as Dave. I think that's fair.
All right.
Yeah.
Contributions.
So this one's interesting because he did have the TV shows and everything like that, and then I think that he did more for licensed comics than people think. That he did more for licensed comics that I guess that people really think about, because like that Tomb Raider book was actually good, and obviously he didn't draw it or anything like that. It's his publishing company. Licensed comics at the time were not great. Like there were a handful of them that were passable. Like obviously Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead in the '90s, those were good licensed comics. But besides that, they were very hit and miss. And I think that he kind of proved that licensed comics could be good. They can be drawn well. They can be written well. So with that being said, I think I'll give him an 8.
All right. We got an 8 on that. And then when we get to the personality category.
Do you know who this is? This is Mark motherfucking Silvestri. Give him a 10.
If I have him back on again, I'm going to ask if I can introduce him like that.
You should. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That was so great. When the recruiting was going on.
Yep, and he called and
called Rob
trying
up.
to poach. I think it was Turner, right? Rob
It
was
was
trying to
Turner.
poach Turner.
Yeah, it was Turner.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Silvestri knocked out here for a grand total of 41. Now to the Todd Father.
Oh, the Todd Father. Style. I mean, we got to go 10, of course. You would actually kind of laugh because like Todd is one of the reasonings why I even started drawing comics to begin with. And when I first started just doodling in sketchbooks and shit, I was trying desperately to be a McFarlane clone, and I did not have the skill to do so, obviously. But I was trying desperately to be a McFarlane clone, so he's definitely one of the biggest reasons why I started drawing comics to begin with.
Creations.
Man, let's give him a 9. Like I said, I think that Spawn's a cool character, but he's not the greatest. Hasn't been the greatest written thing over time. I like King Spawn. I like Gunslinger Spawn. Honestly, I like his ancillary characters more than I like Spawn. Like I'm a big fan of Haunt as well. Cygor rules. Yes.
Sam.
Yes.
He co-created Venom.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I forgot to mention it, and then I realized it. I'm like, don't forget. Anyway, sorry, I need to cut you off.
No, that's true. I mean, I did not give him another point.
You want him? You want to put him to 10?
Give him another point
on the creations.
Got to give him another point.
All right. Yeah, Victor just sprung up in the chat saying the same thing. All right, productivity.
Let's give him a 7. I think that he could draw way more, and he knows that he can draw more. He doesn't have to. I mean, the dude is sitting on a mountain of money from his toy business. So it's like, why waste your time drawing comics if you don't have to? But at the end of the day, it's like, I wish that he was drawing more comics. So
yeah, like doing something more than just these covers, like, because he does tons of covers, and it's great to see, but it's like, yeah, I'd love to see him put his hand, put everything else aside and just do a book, just one.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the things that everybody loves about Todd is just his unconventional page layouts. And it's like that's one of the things that I love about him the most. And it's like you don't see that on covers,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
Okay, contributions.
10. Like, let's just be honest. I mean, there's the toy business in general. That's just a slam dunk. Like Dave had said, kind of changed the music industry. Definitely changed even the animation industry. Did not only just for the music videos that he was doing, but the Spawn cartoon as well. I think that the animated series for Batman had come out prior to that, but Spawn definitely the animation style on that is definitely way more refined than it was in the animated series.
And
Yeah.
I believe, I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, is that was the first American comic R-rated show. Like,
Yep.
Invincible, does Invincible even get made if Spawn doesn't get made 30 years ago? I mean, it
Yeah.
probably would have, but still, I think, it
Paved
was
the
an
way.
adult show.
Yeah. And what do we got on personality?
Hey, bud.
Hey, bud.
I think I'll give him a 9, and the reason being is because there have been times that I've listened to interviews with him where he kind of comes off like, don't get me wrong, like obviously you guys know me, like I hustle my ass off and I'm always about hustling your ass off, but he kind of gets to that hustle culture to where it's kind of toxic. You know what I mean? Like I've heard him say things like, "Oh, when I'm at cons, like I don't go to the bathroom," and like you can go to the bathroom, and it's like, Todd, you need to fucking chill out and like go take a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll give him a 9 just because of just like that side of the hustle culture, just kind of
All
like,
right.
to me.
He's said in the past, because his daughter is a doctor, his daughter has said stuff to him like that. You can't
Yeah, because he doesn't drink or
not
eat.
drink water.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't drink or eat. All right, down to Mr. Rob Lafeld. Is it Lafeld? Are you Lafeld?
Robert Lefeld.
French mom.
Yes. On style.
So I have recently kind of fallen in love with his work because unfortunately, obviously I'm like, 15, 20 years younger than you guys. And
Rub it in if you would.
sorry, but when I was, growing up and going into comic shops and always hearing older, guys talking shit about Rob Liefeld, and I had zero just knowledge, never really looked at his comics, to be honest with you. So I was always of the mind of this dude sucks, so I just never bothered. And probably like honestly kayfabe kind of was like, like Liefeld's the shit, like you need to look at his stuff. And that's when I first started, was like, oh, like, yeah, Youngblood rules, like this dude can draw his ass off. And people can talk shit about hiding grass, feet in the grass, feet in smoke, and whatever else. But at the end of the day, how many comics that has Rob Liefeld sold, and how many have you sold?
Right.
That's the way that I fucking see it. So it's style. Let's give him a 9.
Okay. It made me think of, did you see that speech he gave to the retailers at that con recently?
Yeah.
Where he was counting how many feet were in the upcoming book,
that's right.
just to make everybody happy. Says, I know one thing people want more than anything in their comics, more feet. There are exactly 47 feet in the upcoming issue. All right, what do we got on creations?
I think you got to give him a 9. I mean, I'm a big fan of Youngblood, and I honestly think that they could have done more with Youngblood, because obviously the whole celebrity superhero thing, I think there's a really cool idea. He just never did anything with it, unfortunately. But Deadpool, I mean, that's like one of the most popular characters on the planet.
Yeah.
So
I even forgot to mention Cable.
Yeah.
So
that's true. It's like when you look at everything that dude has done, it's like it's undeniable. It really is.
Productivity.
9. Another one of those dudes that just never stopped, and like you had said, James, kind of to his own detriment, because
Yeah.
The dude just didn't take time to actually look at his work, and he was just rolling like a freight train,
Yep. Contributions.
I think this is a complicated one because you get into all the stuff that he did in the background for Image, and then I think that him as a boss from all of the extreme days and hearing, guys that worked underneath him and how he treated them, how he paid them. I'm big into that, especially, workers' rights, getting paid what you're worth and all that kind of stuff. So I look at that as a contribution as well because he was helping out the comics community as a whole, making sure that, his dudes were getting paid, were getting work.
Letting everybody know he bought all their cars when he pointed out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
You look in that parking lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a double-edged sword. It really is.
He did pride himself in the fact that he was paying people very well.
And
yeah, for sure.
That was also a detriment too.
Yep.
So it's like
contributions. What are you thinking?
Let's do.
Victor says blink twice if Rob has you in his basement.
Let's do an
Sam is in a basement. Yes. All right, we're going for an 8 on contributions. Last but not least, on Mr. Lafeld, personality.
Oh boy. Yeah, I listen to Robservations. Like every time he puts it out, I listen to it, and he is very much old man yelling at the clouds type of shit all the time. And I'm sure I don't have social medias, as you guys are aware, and I'm well aware of the stuff that he posts on social medias and just going after people. It's like, dude, you're in your late 50s, early 60s. It's like, grow the fuck up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, his comic knowledge is better than anybody else's on the planet. His enthusiasm, it's like, who else has more enthusiasm to comics? It's like maybe Ed to that extent. It's like, I'm just being honest. It's like, I've never seen somebody who is like still like a 10-year-old kid with comic books like Rob Liefeld is. Mm-hmm. I'll give him a 7. I think that's fair.
Sure.
I like it. All right. So bringing you into a grand total of 42. All right. Let me add these up, and then we will breeze through mine. We will land this plane.
Oh, yeah. We're wrapping her up.
We got 42. Go ahead, guys. I'm going to add these silently here.
Think about Rob, too. I mean, like Ryan said, like, he spends a lot of time dogpiling on Marvel because he feels that they wronged him. And it's like, yeah, but you could just put your energy towards something a lot more positive. And, a lot of times I hear him spew out facts of stuff maybe in the last 10 years, 15 years, that definitely aren't based on facts. He hates Joe Quesada. He hates Marvel. Yeah. It's like every time he talks about it, I'm like, come on, dude, just move on to something that like we really want to hear you talk about.
Yeah.
But he's got the right to have his own podcast and say what he wants. And, that's cool. I just can't always listen to it.
I just realized I'm totaling this wrong. It should be the total across the board for each person, not the total of everybody's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. I'll fix it at the end when I do mine. All right. So down to me. All right, James, what do you think about Jim Valentino? Okay.
I can be you. I can be you.
You can be me.
So
hey guys.
Hold on.
Keep it nerdy.
So James, what do you think about Jim Valentino?
God, I sound that sexy. Damn, dude.
Arm wrestling, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, arm wrestling. I'm really big and strong. Yeah. All right, let me see. Valentino style. I'm gonna give him a 4 on style. It's something that I never like. It just didn't really excite me ever. I actually like some of his older like the Guardian stuff better than the stuff he did on Shadowhawk. Like I can see the Perez in his
Sure.
work, especially on the Guardian stuff. So don't hate it. Have a respect for the fundamentals and everything, but I'm gonna put him at a 4. Creations, like again, nothing greatly notable for me in the creations category other than Shadowhawk, and I think you sum that up pretty well, Dave, with that
With the summary of
the
Shadowhawk.
summary of Shadowhawk. Like I think he's most well known for that Guardians run, right?
Yeah, I
And
think
then
so, at least
obviously
in
his
Marvel.
indie roots, like, so I would say, like, given that he's a OG like indie guy and he understands that game and really supports like people being creative, I'll give him a 4 on the creation scale here. Productivity, gosh, it's hard because like he didn't really he hasn't really done anything since Shadowhawk that I'm aware of, right? Has he done anything I'm not thinking of?
No,
Like,
because then he just kind of went into a publisher role after that,
yeah,
and
and
that's
he's pretty much been retired
yeah, and he is retired.
as an artist. So thinking about the time when he was working, like I'm probably gonna put that at like a 3, but I
Mhm.
could be misinformed just because I don't know a whole lot about his overall career other than the Guardian stuff and Shadowhawk. Contributions, I feel like he goes up because what he did with publishing and everything, and like he gave Kirkman a chance
Yeah,
when Kirkman lied to him about the premise of Walking Dead and all of that. So uh, that makes his stock go up in my book, that he's willing to give somebody a chance like that. So I'm gonna put him at a conservative 7 on the contributions. Personality kind of strikes me as kind of a little grumpy Gus, kind of older, quiet dude.
a little bit.
I
Yeah.
don't get to see a lot of stuff from him. Sam, you said you've seen some old interviews and stuff. What was your read on him?
One of my favorite lines from him is, "I can't stand primitive art. Stop making it."
Okay. Doesn't like primitive art. All right. Uh gosh, I don't know. I haven't consumed enough Valentino interviews to really give an accurate opinion on this, but I'm gonna put that at a, I think it would be very nice to say a 5. That's what I'll put there.
He's a straight shooter. If you watch
Yeah.
the image documentaries and
Yeah,
the
I have
kayfabe
seen him in
interviews,
that. Yeah, I did like
yeah,
what I've seen in that, and what I've heard Liefeld say about conversation they've had and stuff back in the day. Portatio for me, as somebody who draws, like I always dug his rendering and
Mhm.
his understanding of anatomy. Like before he had his health issues and he had to relearn how to draw, like he was pretty much on the cutting edge of like the how to draw stuff, and like showing people how the muscles interconnected and everything and all of that. So I got to put him, for me personally, he's going to be a 9. um
Okay.
Creations, he did co-create Bishop. So and I always dug how Bishop looked and everything. Outside of that,
Mullet and all, baby.
yeah, the
Oh,
mullet
yeah.
and all, and the M on the eye and all of that. Um, and I enjoyed Wetworks just because of how it looked and because it was Portatio drawing it. So I'm gonna put him at a 7 for me personally at creations. Productivity, like I remember a lot of stuff being delayed
Hmm.
and all of that. It's like if we're talking about the X-Men stuff, like he did quite a good run on that. Um, I'll put him at a 5.
I mean, I wish he stayed on X-Men.
I do
You
too.
know, what could get like 30 issues from him
Would have
would have
been
kept me
killer.
reading, and yeah, till
Yeah.
past 300.
Contributions. If we're talking about just within comics, it wouldn't be super high, but he does a lot of teaching of up and coming artists, and
Mhm.
he's been doing that for many years. That he teaches in the Philippines, basically kind of runs an art school part time when he's over there, and mentors a lot of people. So not so much his contributions to the comic industry, but more for what he's doing, giving back to up and coming creators. I know he did a lot for like Lionel Yu and stuff like that to help
Mhm.
him with his career. I'm gonna give him a 7 on contributions. Um, Personality, like I haven't personally got to meet him, but I've always very much liked what I've seen from him, and I know Ryan Benjamin highly respects him as well.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give him an 8 on that.
Yeah, they're buddies, the two of them.
Yeah, and I respect Ryan's opinion of people. So, um, Jim Lee, I gotta for me personally, he's gonna be a 10.
Mhm.
Um, Especially as somebody coming up from that era and into his art style, it was like game changer. I think for a lot of us, it just looked cool. But I do like his when he inks himself. I think he's way
Oh, yeah.
better than as much as I love Scott Williams. I think Jim on his own inks is pretty phenomenal. Um, Creations, like, yeah, nothing great with Wildstorm as far as Wildcats, X-Men stuff. Omega Red looked cool, but not a lot of substance. Um, Hush was awesome. So I'll probably
What's
put him at a 7.
what's your opinion on Hush 2?
Hush too, the quality is not I'm struggling with Hush 2 to be I'm trying to not be overly critical and realize that he like me and Dave is also aging, and I feel like his proportions have changed on his figures, and there's some things I've seen with like short arms on Batman and stuff that I'm like, oh, like something's a little like either this is rushed or he's just not catching the things he used to catch. So I've been a little more critical of the art on Hush too. But at the end of the day, it's friggin' Jim Lee, and I'm gonna pick up anything that he does, and it still
Oh,
looks great, you know.
you're a better man than me. I clocked out in that second issue. I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm
I
good.
didn't say I'm reading it. I'm buying it to look at Jim Lee artwork, man. No, I tried to read it and I was like, no, I'm good.
Especially with two amazing Batman books happening right now, and
Yeah.
like it
No, and that's
really
the
makes
thing.
that one look bad.
Absolute, because I checked out Absolute first, obviously, and then it's
Yeah.
like you can't go from Absolute to that. It's just night and day
No,
difference.
and what Fraction and Jorge are doing is also fantastic as well.
Productivity. I mean, the guy has been a workhorse. And he draws his ass off all the time and gives back to the community on his Twitch streams, helping people. That would kind of go in the contributions category. He's done some big runs on books too, like consistently since the start of his career. So I'm going to give him a 9 on that. Contributions. I think he did a lot with the studio environment and mentoring people. I know like Ryan Benjamin, again, going back to Ryan Benjamin, speaks really highly of the mentoring process that was like how much access they had to Jim and how much help that he provided them in improving their artwork and everything. So just that alone, like combined with everything else, I think I'll put him at like an 8. Personality, I think he's kind of a quiet guy, but I've seen things with him to where he opens up a little bit and he's more relaxed, and I really like his personality, especially when he kind of jokes around a little bit. And I remember seeing him kind of open up a little bit in the old Stan Lee comic book greats videos too, and kind of sparring back and forth with McFarlane and stuff, which cracked me up. So I'll give him an 8 on the personality. Larson,
You son of a
gosh,
bitch! I swear to
I
God.
I love. No, you're good. I love Larson's style. I always have. I think arguably his run on Amazing Spider-Man was vastly underappreciated after he got on after Todd. I think
Sure.
it's some of the best work of his career.
Revenge of the Sinister Six. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I've always loved his style. So for me, his style's a 10. Creations, I gotta agree. Like Savage Dragon, it's up there for me. It's a solid premise. Yeah, just everything he's done, he's gonna get high numbers from me. I'm gonna put him at a 9. Productivity,
We
man.
stand Eric Larson here. We stand Eric Larson.
Yeah, productivity. Like the fact that he's still making comics is
Yeah.
huge. So, like I don't feel like he's ever really stopped, despite even like crazy challenges in his life and everything else. So I'm gonna put him at a 10 there.
Real quick, do you happen to have that painting, Dave? 'Cause I don't think James has ever seen it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll grab
yeah.
it. I'll grab it. You guys keep going.
Contributions. I'm gonna say contributions. Well, he gave us Dragon. Continues to give us Dragon. He did the work in Megaton. He's been like a very much the whole thing with him like helping Kirkman and everything is huge for me. So I'm gonna give him a 9 there.
You want a full screen?
Yeah, whenever.
I'll give you the full screen, buddy. There you go.
So
Oh wow.
this is from 1981. This is before he was a professional.
Wow.
And his local store was what is now the Comics Place in Bellingham.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of his stuff, and I know the owners of Comics Place, so they let me buy this.
Holy cow, dude.
It's a homage to, I want to say, a page in FF57. It's a Kirby homage.
Yep.
But yeah, it's signed right there, Eric Larson, 1981.
What medium is it in?
I mean, it's a little watercolor, but marker. I can definitely tell that this is marker here.
Yeah.
So maybe it's marker and watercolor.
That's got to be one of your prized pieces, dude.
Yeah, I love it. I mean,
That's
I absolutely
amazing.
love this thing.
That is amazing. I'm very jealous right now. Maybe the most jealous I've been of you, other than that you've had Todd on and I haven't yet.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yet.
I mean, I'm not, but I'm sorry.
Yet. Okay. Personality. I've always like enjoyed his personality on stuff that I've seen. I'm gonna put him on a 7 there, just because I know he can be a little quiet and monotone and gruff. Silvestri.
I think it's just on the spectrum, is what
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silvestri gets a 10 on style. That's a no-brainer. Creations. Yeah, Ripclaw was cool. But Witchblade and all of that, like I think that's that gives him high marks there. I'm gonna put him at a 9. Productivity, I'm gonna give him that one's tough just because he had such a big break. And I know he was working on that Batman Joker Deadly Duo for like almost 10 years before it came out, like silently behind the scenes. I might be giving him a little more of a higher number than he deserves, but I think I'm gonna put him at a 7. Contributions, again, Witchblade, like what Sam was saying about the licensed comics, all of that, with like the Tomb Raider one was great. And also like the guy gave Michael Turner a chance.
Yeah.
when Michael Turner started, he was not the Michael Turner that we know. Like in Silvestri had the patience to like finally find what clicked with him and you know, so just on that alone, I gotta give him a 9. And then personality, like I've liked everything I've seen of Mark. I'm gonna give him a 9. And then Todd, this is easy. 10.
Clean sweep it.
10. Where this is the hard part. I could give him a 9 on this, on the productivity, just because he hasn't drawn anything regularly. So he gets a point deducted there from me, just out of sadness that I don't get to see Todd actually drawing a book every now and
Yeah.
again. Contributions got to be a 10. Personality for me is a 10. Rob, style means that it's doesn't always have to mean that you like it, but like Sam was saying, his stuff has always been exciting. And I remember when I was younger, there was nothing like that, and it just, something about it just appealed to us when we saw it. And I think Sam's gaining an appreciation in retrospect, looking at it and being like, yeah, there's something to this. It's exciting. Like the quality varies, but it's definitely up there. Now then my artist side of me, and being able to spot all the flaws and all of these things, that's what's going to take it to like a 9 for me. But I don't think it's because he doesn't know how to draw. I think it's just he gets going and sometimes he just doesn't care, and he doesn't spend as much time on certain things as he should. Creations, like, you got to give him a 10. Deadpool and Cable alone. Productivity, I got to give him a 10 because the guy hasn't stopped after all these years when pretty much everybody else has, as far as these founders go. Contributions got to be a 10 for me. Personality's the hard one, man. Sometimes I really like Rob, and then sometimes he rubs me the wrong way.
That's exactly how we all
I
feel.
love the passionate Rob that loves comics. I don't love the Rob that says he doesn't argue with trolls, and then the next day I open up X and he's arguing with somebody and berating them and telling them how stupid they are and stuff. And the stuff with the podcast has definitely turned into a shit on Marvel every episode, how Marvel is failing podcast here recently. So I'm hoping it gets back to the positive, let's talk about, how much we love comics aspect of it. But he's a big personality, and I do love his love of comics, and he truly does love comics probably more than anybody I know, and have a great knowledge. But personality, I'm gonna put in. I just don't like I think he's better than all the immature trash talk and stuff. So I'm gonna have to give him a 7, just because that part rubs me so much the wrong way.
Sure.
It's like, I want to love you so much, like you would be a 10, but just stop doing this one or two things. But that Rob's Rob. It's Rob being Rob, right? All right. So now what I got to do as we wrap up, we have gone beyond 90 minutes tonight, and we've maintained pretty much the same viewers throughout, which is really cool. Okay. So 28 plus 31 plus, and you guys chat while I'm doing this, because it's going to be boring for people to listen to me adding this up.
I'll do a thing, Sam, if it's okay.
Yeah.
It's a little self-promotion.
I love it. While I add this up, I'm gonna actually remove that from the stage, and I'm gonna give you the full screen and let you self-promote.
Hello. Hi. I have 2 YouTube channels. If there's, somebody in here that doesn't know who I am. West Coast Davengers, where I put out mostly weekly videos. I'm starting to step away from that, but me buying collections, me in Japan hunting for books, first person view. You get to come with me. There are some older interviews on my channel, including Stan Sakai and Todd McFarlane and people like that, Jim Rugg.
Daniel
But I have
Warren Johnson.
Daniel Warren Johnson. But I have a podcast called Direct Edition. It also has a YouTube channel available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio. Sam's streaming it from his basement all the time too. He's got his own private streaming service. But it's called Direct Edition. It's now where all my interviews are going to go. This week I had put up an interview with Larry Reed, who is the Fantagraphics bookstore manager for the entire existence of that bookstore, 20 years. Last week, Sean Japan Book Hunter, but even further back, Jeff Darrow, Mark Silvestri, Matteo Scolari, Daniel Warren Johnson, et cetera, et cetera. So I encourage you to subscribe to both and watch them, because I love comics more than most people understand how a person could love comics. Aside from that, I do a weekly live stream Wednesday. Tomorrow is a chat and chill. Next week is a sale. You can buy comics from me. Everybody in this on the screen has bought comics from me at
Yep.
one point or another.
Highly
So-
recommend.
Well, thank you. And
Yeah.
what else? What else do I have to promote? Really, honestly, that's it. I'm reprinting the Jack Kirby, The Many Faces of Jack Kirby, Volume 1. So that'll be here. If you don't know what that is, that you can just go on my website, westcoastdavengers.com. It's got its own section. And I have a Patreon, $5 a month. You get exclusive videos from both channels, plus every 2 months there is a exclusive sale on the Patreon, and you're going to buy some stuff that nobody else has access to. Other than that, I love comics. I love you, and I want you to love comics. And you don't have to love me, but just subscribe.
I love
That's
you,
all.
Dave.
I love you too, James.
I have to. I can't help myself.
Oh, well, it's nice to have
I can't quit
a
you,
bear.
Dave. I can't quit you, Dave. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm almost done. I'm gonna let you and Sam chat it up here while
Well, thank you, Victor, and hello, Samuel.
And Sam, you could be putting some of those people's chats up, but just to remind you, you do have the power, buddy. Just like He-Man.
He's muted. You're muted, Sam.
Oh yeah, I was just sitting here talking to myself. Lord have
He's
mercy.
talking to himself. Talking to himself. But future guests on the podcast, I was telling these guys in private before we started, I just interviewed Robert Venditti, who is writing Planet Death and Ordained and Hank Howard and Survive for Bad Idea, and Eric Canetti, who you just had on Nerdy Musings.
Oh yeah, Eric's
like a month ago.
awesome, man. I love Eric.
Yeah, and so we recorded. I just got confirmation Jim Starlin's going to be on the podcast pretty soon.
Ooh, that is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
That's
and,
awesome.
We'll see who else pops up. I've got some irons in the oven. I've got some things cooking. So hopefully they all come to fruition.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to do my totals for each person here. You guys keep chatting away while I do that. I'm going to put a note here.
Yeah,
Keep them entertained.
Ryan, very much looking forward to talking to Starlin. Hopefully he gives me I could see us doing over 2 hours, but I mean, I'd be happy just for 2 hours. Hooch, I tried. You weren't standing next to me. Actually, I think Ryan was standing next to me at Heroes when I was talking to Ron Lim, where he's like, I don't do interviews. I'm like, okay, because you're so fucking popular. Because when everybody thinks about Marvel, everybody says Ron Lim first. Like, it's so weird. He's such a nice guy, but he's like, I don't do interviews. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I don't know what else to say about that,
That's rough, man.
Yeah. But I mean, look, it's okay. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, come on, Ron. People would love to hear from you. You're Ron Lim.
Yeah.
That was what I said to Jim Lee when we talked in Tokyo. He basically said to me, he's like, I can't. He's like, DC kind of controls the interviews. He's corporate.
Right.
He's the president of DC. And I get that. And then he said to me, he's like, yeah, I've never done a podcast before. I'm like, I know, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. That's crazy that he hasn't too.
I'm interested to see how much Starlin wants to. I mean, Starlin will talk about Marvel, but I'm interested because he's, without Jim Starlin's creations, the entire, phases of Marvel movies wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
They would have had nowhere to go. They would have been like, oh, who's the, they would have had to do Doom originally.
Yeah.
So, but he's, that guy's been in comics for half a century, and, he's put down some of the most amazing looking stuff. Like if you go back and look at the Warlock stuff he did in the 70s, nobody can touch that. Nobody can touch it.
Dreadstar is it's a stellar book. That book rules.
I need to read it. Like I've never read any Dreadstar, and the reason why I got him to come on, they're doing another Kickstarter, I think, in a couple weeks for Dreadstar versus Dreadstar or something. And I at least want to read the first book just to have a base knowledge of the creation, But yeah, his Warlock stuff is amazing. I mean, Infinity Gauntlet for me will always be my favorite big crossover event, because that was like, I was like, and Sam, I'm not that older than you. I'm 13 years older, not 15 to 20. And, I was like 12 or 13 when Infinity Gauntlet came out. And, obviously I'm always repping Infinity Gauntlet. I've had this specific poster on my wall has been in my possession since I was a child.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
That is amazing.
And I am not a child, only
a man-child.
Inside. Exactly. Not on the outside. No child could look this sexy.
We're getting close, gentlemen. We're getting close.
Somebody. So I just there was a video I premiered on Japan Book Hunter this weekend, and it's me, Sean, Mahfood, and Dave Crossland. And somebody put in a goddamn comment that Crossland looks like if Mahfood was black, and I look like Mahfood in 15 years. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm the youngest person in that video.
Yeah, Jim's like 50, isn't he?
Jim's 50, Sean's 50, and I think Crossland's a year older than me.
That's funny.
I mean, yeah, I'm bald, whatever, and I've got gray beard, but no.
It's the gray beard, man. That's where they get it. They misinterpret our age. It's all this gray that's coming in.
Yeah, exactly. It's just Sam's like, yeah, I ain't got none of that yet. It's like, you will. Oh, you
will, buddy.
Fortunately, like both my grandpa and my dad, like up until my grandpa died, he had brown hair, and my dad still has brown hair. Yeah.
You're like Scandinavian or something?
Scottish.
Scottish. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're not gonna. There's not a no. You'll stay that. You might even go red. Who knows?
Yeah.
My beard kind of turns red in the summer a little bit. Like if the sun hits it right, it looks red. So yeah.
There you go. Ryan said it. The gray leads them astray. I mean, Sam, I don't know what what cons you're going to go to this year, but James, you're going to go to Emerald City for
Emerald City and Rose City.
And then what about you, Sam? Are you planning on going anywhere?
Yes, sir. So I have I'm doing 2 local cons here in the Green Bay area. Comicverse, the first one's like beginning of March. I can't remember the specific date, but that's in Green Bay. And then I'm doing Heroes Con this year.
Oh, you are? That's cool.
So yeah, they just emailed me this morning actually.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I may not go this year, but if I do, obviously I'll see you there. I'm just trying to vary up the cons I'm going to this year, and I'm going to OAX obviously next month. I'll do Emerald City for a day because I was talking to Wayshack today, and he'll be there.
Oh, nice.
I'm thinking of maybe finally doing San Diego this year, but if not, I think I'm almost guaranteed I'm going to go to New York this year.
Have you never done San Diego, Dave?
No, I've just stayed away from it because
I've gone once.
People.
Yeah, I went in 2016. It was cool, but it is overwhelming.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna do overwhelming, New York's easier for me because I have friends there. I got a place to stay for free, and it's home for me. Skip OAX in 27 and go to Como. I mean, I kind of want to go to Como, but because I've never been to Italy, but I would only go if homies were exhibiting there. Like if the Ink Pulp guys were going to be there in 27, then I'll go because, if I'm going to pay for a flight, I don't want to pay for cons anymore.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, I added up our totals and I have our winners. Do we want to start from from third place and work our way up?
Do it.
All right. Coming in third place, based on our scores, Mr. Rob Lefeld with 130 points. Coming in second place with 136 points, Mr. Eric Larson. And surprise, surprise, coming in first place, Mr. Todd McFarlane. Now, Jim Lee was just outside. Jim Lee and Mark. So Mark would have been fourth, and Jim Lee would have been fifth. Mark had 126. Jim Lee had 123.
It's funny because if you were to ask me like who are my favorite Image Founder artists, the first two are always going to be Todd and Eric.
Yeah.
But I think I would put Silvestri and Lee probably tied, and then Liefeld would be after.
Yeah. Yeah, Lefeld.
Yeah, Lefeld.
Are you
Lefeld?
Are you Lefeld? Yes. Well, yes, I am Lefeld. Well, Dave, I'm putting all your IGs up here as well, so people can follow you on IG and keep track of you. I'm gonna put you up one more time on your YouTube channels because we want to make sure people go and subscribe to YouTube. Dave has been very generous with his time tonight.
Oh, I love hanging out with you.
We greatly appreciate you, buddy. This has been something we've been talking about this since we started the Bristol Bros. We got to get Dave on here.
Oh, that makes me feel wanted. Well, I mean, I appreciate you guys as friends, first and foremost.
Likewise.
You know, I've known James now for a couple of years. Sam, I've known you for a bit, and we've all met. I've met you both in person. But I also appreciate what you're doing with the channel, and I appreciate you inviting me. It's a great thing to be able to hang out.
Yeah.
Especially because as two people in the driver's seat tonight. I'm always in the driver's seat.
I know,
two
right?
Channels, so it's nice to just chill.
Oh, you got a question in the chat before we wrap up?
Oh,
Mr.
Victor. Okay. Let's take Todd out of the picture because that is, that was my Mount Everest. At this point, I think, man, I really got to say, honestly, like Chip Zdarsky. I've had him on twice on the podcast. Yeah. And like Chip is one of those people that you can ask him anything and he's going to answer it. But he's also like me. He's a goofball and he appreciates a good joke.
Yeah.
Chip and then, Silvestri.
Nice.
Silvestri. Because he answered so many things. He talked about so many things that I've been waiting years and years to really find out about.
Well, this was great and all, but I'm a little disappointed that Comic Tim got tied up in Sam's basement and couldn't be with us today. And I hope at least you put a shiny pile of chromium in front of him to keep him entertained.
There's at least one or two Turoks in front of Comic Tim right now. And listen, next time when I'm not a first-time guest on Bristol Bros, I'll see if we can get him on at least for like 10 minutes.
We'll
and you guys can ask him all of the hard-hitting questions that you've always wanted to ask Comic Tim.
Sounds like a deal. Well, Sam, Dave, pleasure hanging out with you guys. Everybody who watched tonight, thanks for being here with us. It was a heck of a fun time. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week.
Yeah, and hit the like button for these fine fellas.
Like, subscribe, do all the things. Go follow Dave, subscribe to him. All right, everybody. Have a good one. Take care. I'm gonna watch Dave. We're gonna watch Dave dance. There's gonna be no music though, Dave. You can dance though if you want.